on Thursday, the Mercer women will face Chattanooga. That's an old familiar foe when we get to Asheville and Southern Conference play. That game's Thursday at 1:15. Winner will come back and play Friday at 1:15. The men will open up against a team they just played last Saturday. We played Western Carolina. Guys going to turn around and play them again Friday afternoon, 5:15. Winner of that game will turn around and play 12 o'clock on Saturday. So that's the way the brackets roll out. With that, we'll bring our head coaches up and let them give us a preview of the SoCon tournament. Coach Michelle Clark, Hurd.
Thanks, Rick. How's everybody doing? Sorry, little cracky voice. I'd like to echo what Rick said. I just appreciate the opportunity to come out like every week and talk about our program, talk about our young ladies, and I just appreciate you all showing up faithfully. Yeah, last week went 1-1. Was a tough ending for us on our home court. Didn't play well. Give a lot of credit to UNCG. They played well, shot the ball well. And so the greatest thing about that is now we can get back, get focused, and be ready to go, as they say, for your third season, and that's postseason in the conference tournament. So just looking forward to getting with our group later and practicing and getting them together and with the game plan. You know, that we know what to expect from Chad. You know, and credit to them. She's done a great job and got them, you know, in second place, and they're playing well. And so, yeah, I think just being able to guard them and figure out in the games that we played them, we had a lot of open shots, missed a lot of open shots, gave up open shots. So we're going to have to go back and correct some of these things and get disciplined. At the end of the day, it's a new life for everyone. And so what I love about it is I've coached in a lot of conference tournaments and won a lot. So I'm excited about that and excited, the staff and I, to make sure we get our girls ready to go one game at a time. So with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Those game against Western Carolina led for a lot of it. What did you see out of your group in that game on Thursday? Yeah, just was really proud of our effort and the will to win. Right, I think that we went through a lot of situations where it came down to the end of the game and we didn't get stopped, so we didn't make the right play. And in that game we did. We put ourselves in a position where we was able to win. And so was just really proud of them. And just we grow in a lot of different ways through wins and losses. And I think we've done that throughout the season. And so I think that just really proud for them and was really happy for them that they could understand that they could pull that out in a tight situation in a game like that. And then I know we talked a lot about senior leadership all season. Natalia Harris, a freshman, stepping up late in the season. Talk about her just growth as a player throughout this conference play.
Definitely. You know, it was funny. I was messaging her a few minutes ago. She's just growing. And you know, the thing about it is she's a freshman. And as a freshman, she really can't turn and look over her shoulder, and there's nobody else there, really, with our numbers. And to her credit, I'm just proud of her because she's allowed myself and the staff to just keep coaching her and pushing her. And every day, you know, some games she have good games, and some games she know that she could be better. But what I love about it is she's always that player that goes back and evaluates herself. And I think at a young age, sometimes that's hard to do. So I'm just proud of her. I'm excited. I know she'll be ready to go when it's time for us to go on Thursday. And just proud of her growth. And I love coaching her because she's grown so much. You know, I'm hoping that everyone in the league sees out there she's one of the best freshmen in the league. I definitely think she deserves to be on all freshmen. I don't know if that'll happen, but I know she's on my all freshmen.
And going into the conference tournament, you're playing Chattanooga. What else are you seeing from the mocks on paper? Or just what else are you looking to correct before that game? Yeah, and we got to rebound and we got to defend. They made a ton of open threes on us, got downhill drives on us. So we got to be more disciplined defensively. And that's something that we're going to work on and what we got to get a game plan together. And you know, like we did in our Western Carolina game, they're going to have to follow the scout to make sure that we can, you know, go there. And, of course, like it's tournament time. This is a time for upsets, as they say, right? But you have to be disciplined. You have to do the things that you're supposed to do to put yourself in a position to have a chance to win.
Talk to me about what this means for players like Ashley. How much fire does it give them to be kind of at the end of the road here?
Yeah, I think that it's tough. Being a former player, I know what that looks like, right? But at the end of the day, I think the greatest thing is that she still, it's at the end of the road, but she still has one more left in another one. So, I think that's something for me that I'm grateful for as a coach with the relationships that I have with my players, to be able to talk to her and help her understand and know that it's one game at a time. And the thing that I love about Ashley is that she always comes in every single day willing to do whatever it takes to figure out how to help us win. And I know that won't be any different come conference time, so tournament time. So just looking forward to helping her be able to, I want her to be in the moment though also too and enjoy it. And be in a situation where she can play and play to the best of her ability, but also enjoy that this is her last conference tournament.
Is there someone else on this team that you felt would really take a big leap forward in this last month or so? Because you talked about playing the best basketball in February. Is there anyone else on the team that has been a big X factor for you guys down the stretch?
Yeah, I think it's came down to the consistent normal players that we've had. You talked about Talia. I think when Talia goes, we go. As to be honest, Nahawa and Ariana and Ashley have been constant across the board. But when you look at the common denominator, when they all play well, we win. And that doesn't mean scoring. It means a lot of other things that happen across the board. Kayla Smith has stepped up for us a lot in a lot of situations. She's hit some big shots for us to win games. She's done a lot of great things. So I would say that she's definitely in that mix of have gotten better from the beginning to where we're at right now. But again, I think at the end of the day, sometimes we always look at wins and losses, but it's not just about the wins and the losses, it's also the growth and how much they've grown individually as players to help our team be able to compete. When you look at our schedule, you look at the scores, the top two teams are the teams that have really basically put it on us. And so I know we're about to face one of those teams in the tournament, but I'm also confident, and I know that in the first half of these games, we're pretty much there. So we got to clean up some things and get discipline on the other side of the ball so we can get some stops.
Coach, you talked about we played Chattanooga twice like we have the other teams in the league. Now that we're playing them in tournament this week, in your mind, what's the highest priority of the aspect of our game that needs to come together, give us the best chance to win?
Yeah, as I said, we got to defend. That's the most important thing. That little point guard, she's really, really good. Took it downhill on us all the time. They got inside, kicked the ball out a lot, so we gave up threes. So we got to be able to defend, but we got to make open shots. We got a lot of good opportunities. We missed a lot of layups. We missed a lot of open shots. We got to be confident to put the ball in the hole. And the rest of the stuff, they say rebound and defense, that wins championships. So it's going to win a game for us. It's one game at a time. So that's what we got to do.
Coach, you were talking about how when it comes to tournament play, you've been successful. What has worked for you in the past? Yeah,
I think it's just the key element of the players following the game plan. This is a time that all coaches live for. I'm excited to have the opportunity for our team to go to conference tournament, and for us to have a game plan and get them ready. My job as the head coach is to get them motivated, ready to go, and put us in the best position where we can have a chance to win. And that's why I said that I've been here before. I've done it a lot, won a lot. This is the time of the year that I really love, like every coach. So our job is to get them and get them, and I think we've done a good job of that, getting them prepared and ready even after tough losses. So I think this is the good thing for me going into practice today and meeting with our team is I can tell them that we've done this before, right? So I think the most important thing is that once we've done that and we carried over to get a win afterwards, we was more disciplined in the things that we needed to do. So I think just enjoying the journey, man, and that's what I'm going to talk to them about, because now everyone's in the same situation, right? It's 0-0 for everybody, so one game at a time, and so that's the whole point of that.
when you talk to them and you're motivating them for the next step, I guess, is it going to require, you think, like a mentality switch? Because before it was like, okay, we didn't get this one, on to the next one. Now it's do or die. So what do you think needs to change?
Yeah, I think the most important thing I got to get with my first group that steps foot on the floor, right? Because when you first start in the game, that's the most important thing, right? And I think that's why me talking to my point guard like I was earlier, and talking to our, Ashley and the rest of that core group, they have to understand and know it starts with them. So that's the way the mindset has to flip. Is it has to be, the regular season and the conference is over. Now we're moving on to this stage of where we're at, and everyone is in the same boat. No matter what the records are, no matter what it looks like, we're all fighting for the same thing. So I think it's just getting that first five, that group together, and getting them to understand and know that we have a plan in place and following this coaching staff where we can get, that first. The hardest thing in a conference tournament is to win that first game. And once you get past that first game, then everybody it's the exciting moments. It's the quick turnaround for everyone. It's the adjustments and everything else. So yeah.
With the quick turnarounds for you, do you think that helps momentum, or do you think it's kind of like you guys struggle because it's like, oh, we just came off of this, now we need to focus on this?
No, I think that we've been through it now, right? And I think that that's a situation that it definitely, they're going to be rolling off adrenaline. When you get to after that first win and you keep going, all the championships and all the tournaments I've been a part of, that's what it is. You're ready to move to the next one and excited to be able to survive and advance.
Okay, anything else for Coach Herb? All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you all.
All right, we'll bring up Coach Ritter. Well, for these guys, they are not going to have to dig deep recently to find the scouting report. I don't know how many times it happens, but it is for the men's team. Played Western Carolina Saturday. Going to turn right around and play them again this Friday, 5 o'clock.
All right, good afternoon. This thing's coming to an end. So I feel like we were just up here giving the outlook of the season, and now here we are going into conference tournament. And obviously Saturday felt good to go out for these seniors, get a win at Hawkins Arena. Thought our guys played with edge. It was fun to coach them. And as we move into the conference tournament, we said from the beginning we'll be playing our best basketball. And the truth is that we've had some results that didn't go our way, but I think with our group, if you just watched us practice right now, it's a physically, mentally locked-in group that feels, we're one of the most dangerous teams in the tournament. You look at our last 2 weeks, we've played 7 out of 8 really good halves of basketball, got the result in 2 of them, didn't get the result in the other 2. When you go and look, obviously beating West Carolina, I think helps our guys' confidence. But as you look through the league, if you take every team, and this is just the truth, everyone with the exception of Wofford, we've had a chance to win the basketball game in the last possession, or we've won the game. So when you talk about going into a tournament, I think we all agree, we're not record-wise where we would want to be at the end of the year, but I think if you talk about confidence-wise going into the tournament, I think our guys are fired up. They're going to play with great edge. They're going to play hair on fire, and we're going to be a tough out. We've got upperclassmen. We've got veteran guys that have played in conference tournaments before. So we're excited. We're excited to get to Asheville, excited for the matchup with Western Carolina. Obviously a little unique playing them Saturday and then turn around and playing them, but I'm sure they'll prepare really well, and we'll have a survive and advance mentality, and hopefully we'll get to stay there for quite a few days. So that's where we are with us, and we're excited to get down there. If you guys obviously open up for any questions now.
Rick kind of touched on it in his opening statement. It's kind of rare to play a team last game of the season and open up against them in the tournament. What is that like for you as a coach, just in terms of is that harder? Is it easier? How do you prepare in that kind of situation? Yeah,
I don't know if it's harder or easier. It's unique. We talked about it. I'm sure I'm not in their huddles. I'm not in their coaching staff's meeting, but I'm sure, we both obviously want to go try to win the basketball game last Saturday. But when you're playing a team Friday, there might be an adjustment or two that, you want to look at that, doesn't take place. So I don't know if it's any harder or easier. It's probably unique that you're, virtually, obviously we played Saturday, and really the only thing that mattered was whoever won got to wear white jerseys in Asheville. We weren't playing for a bye or something along those lines. We were playing for, wearing a white jersey. Like I said, I don't know if it's tougher or easier, but it's definitely unique.
And then What's kind of your key to success in the tournament? You guys are playing at a really high tempo right now, spreading the ball around, scoring a lot of points. Is that really going to take you there? Or is there something else that you think is important to emphasize?
Yeah, I think the word you'll hear me say, really, you've heard me say the last couple weeks, is our guys are playing with edge again. And, quite honestly, we went on 2-3 week break where we just didn't play with a lot of edge, and we kind of, our demeanor and maybe our aggressiveness we struggled to score the ball a little bit. And I think for that, 2 or 3 or 4 game stretch, we allowed that to affect our edge. And, so you look at the last 4 games, we've played with that defensive toughness. We've played with a mindset that gives us a chance to win. And obviously you take the last, Western Carolina would make 13 threes. Obviously it's a little easier in the game of basketball when you shoot the ball and it goes in. So that'd be really helpful if we could continue to do that next week. But I've loved our guys' mentality the last 2 weeks. And I think it's a long season. When you look at, college athletics, it's one of the longest seasons there is. We have summer workouts. They get here in September. We're virtually into it. You play all the way through March. So for our guys to have an edge with some of the adversity we face, man, I'm fired up to coach this group still.
And how do you do that? You talk about it being a long season. How do you keep everybody locked in for that amount of time? And like you've talked about, how do you keep them going, practicing, being fired up every week?
Yeah, I think you got to be the same guy every day. And that's what we tell our guys. You got to be champions every day. So did you wake up and how you do anything is how you do everything. Did you wake up? Did you go to class? Did you treat people the right way? You got to be the same consistent person, player. Gives you the opportunity to be successful. Doesn't guarantee it, but I know it gives you the best opportunity. And for our guys, if you can be that consistent for 6, 7, 8 months, then you're going to have a fun experience in Nashville. We're still building that every day.
Talking about the experience in Asheville, obviously the priority is winning, right? But I look at a guy like Chip going from the Peach Belt to, SoCon tournament. It's your first SoCon tournament. What do you hope to glean from it? I mean, aside from hopefully winning a couple games.
Yeah, you said it. We hope to go there and win 4 games. That's what we're hoping to get from it. But the truth is, we're going to go lay it out, and we're going to play our tails off for each other. And I think in today's day and age, it's great to say, hey, we may get some experience this year, but we can't begin looking at next year. That wouldn't be fair to the guys that are out of eligibility. And we know we've got a good enough basketball team to go in there and make some noise. And so I think, what are we looking to gain from it? We're looking to gain, 1 game at a time, playing our best, and 4 minutes to go in the game, having a chance to win the basketball game.
And is there a guy on this roster that you felt has grown a lot in the last few weeks, few games, somebody that's really been stepping up that maybe hasn't been talked about a lot?
Yeah, I think, when you look at the course of a season, I don't know if it's been, the last 3 or 4 games, but I think there's numerous guys. You take a guy like Brady Shoulders, 18-year-old freshman. We signed him, and he ends up playing 25 minutes a night in the Southern Conference. He's gaining valuable experience for his career. But I think, you can name multiple guys. I think Lorenas Visteris has played well the last couple weeks, particularly on senior night. So, I think, the growth of the season, I think the one guy I'd probably point out would be Brady, just because he's a freshman. But I think the consistency of Chip Johnson has been really impressive. And I think that's why we feel, we've got a chance to go compete in Nashville. We've got toughness. We've got guys that, some older guys, some guards that can make some shots.
Ryan, on Saturday, I thought you guys did a pretty good job of defensively making things difficult on Western Carolina's 2 best offensive players. Kel and Palo, can you just talk about the job you guys did defensively, particularly on those 2 guys?
Yeah, we didn't want to be on our heels. We were playing at home. It was our last, game in Hawkins with those guys. Wanted to make sure we were the aggressor, and I thought we did a nice job at ETSU with Kamari Peterson. I thought it carried over to Palote and Kel, and those are 2 guys that have had big nights in league this year. So obviously we got to find a way to continue that next Friday night.
Coach, what's the one characteristic of this team you've seen develop through the years that gives you the most encouragement heading into the tournament this week?
That's a good question. I think, the thing I said it in the first press conference, tough together, unselfish. And that's a hard thing to do every day because toughness doesn't take a day off. Your togetherness doesn't get to take a day off, and selfishness doesn't get to take a day off. And so I think when you look at the collective group of guys, I can say sitting here going into March, I think we got a physically tough group. Again, we may be a little undersized in some areas, but if you look at all the toughness stats, we don't get out-rebounded. We don't turn over the basketball. And those are things that I think, they're a priority of our group, and I think our guys have done a good job with the physical toughness aspect of it.
This could be totally, your coach, so that's why I'm asking. That first game, it's kind of supposed to be a disadvantage that you have to play in, right? But does that give you guys any benefits as a team to get to go down there, get that game, and hopefully win it? And does it help you maybe build more of a hot streak when you get to play in that first game?
Well, I think you got to look at it that way, right? We get an extra 40 minutes in the arena. We're going to make some shots. We're going to feel good about it going into that next one. But if we start thinking about Saturday, then we're not doing a very good job preparing our guys. So, I don't know what it means. I know that we're going to go out. We're going to try to compete our tails off, media timeout by media timeout, and have our guys prep for a really good Western Carolina team. And, if it creates an advantage for us Saturday, great. But we get a chance to create an advantage for ourselves the next 3 days of practice.
What was your initial reaction when you realized that you were going to have to turn around and play the same group again in the tournament?
I mean, I don't really worry about things out of our control. I think, sometimes people spend a lot of their time and effort on things that they just ultimately can't control. And I think for our group, for our staff, we do a really good job of prioritizing the things that are under our control. You can't control if the ball goes in the bucket or not, but you control your preparation for it. You can control some intangibles. And, so to play them, it was kind of like, all right, well, I mean, guess we're going to play them again. Not that we can do good or bad about it.
What's the message to the guys as you guys prepare for that first game in Nashville?
Yeah, you got to play with poise, but you got to play with desperation, and that's a hard balance. When it is, one mistake can lead to the ending of your season. There's a desperation factor to it, but also I think the teams that play with great poise and understand it's a 40-minute game. You're not living and dying with every possession, but you are playing with desperation. I think those are the teams that ultimately have success there.
Coach, when you took this job, you said you've been looking at it for quite a while, the head job at Mercer. 1 year regular season complete. Was it what you thought it would be?
Yeah, it's a monster league. I've got a lot of respect from the outside, but when you get into it, understand that I think the beautiful part of it is it's been done differently. Different teams have won it. Different styles have won it. It's a great, pure basketball league. You go on the road, you're going to have great environments. You play home games, you're going to have great environments. And so I think if you genuinely love basketball, this is a great league to be in.
Okay, anything else for Coach Ritter? All right, thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.